Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. Ladies and gentlemen, has the government taken the right stand? Politics is already on it, on what is a 1 1/4 page note that's been issued by the RBI. This has been a talk for a while. They had stopped printing this note since 2018-2019. At that time, towards the end of 2018-2019, this is the 2,000 rupee note that now goes out of circulation. This is the note, ladies and gentlemen, that's been issued by the RBI. This is what it says. The Reserve Bank of India, Bharatiya Reserve Bank, dated the 19th of May 2023. And this is what it says. It says very clearly, and I'm going to read this out, that rupees 2,000 denomination banknotes withdrawal from circulation will continue as legal tender. Please note the headline. The headline is that it will continue as legal tender, but withdrawal of these notes. So this is what the RBI says, and what it says thereafter is that the objective of introducing rupees 2,000 banknotes was met once banknotes in other denominations became available in adequate quantities. Because 2,000 was brought in because 500 and the 1,000 rupee notes during Notebandi were withdrawn, or they ceased to be legal tender. Therefore, printing of 2,000 banknotes was stopped in 2018-2019. About 89% of the 2,000 denomination banknotes were issued prior to March 2017 and are at the end of their estimated lifespan of 4 to 5 years. This is what it says. The total value of these banknotes in circulation has declined from 6.73 lakh crore at its peak on March 31st, 2018, 37.3% of the notes in circulation, to 3.62 lakh crore, constituting only 10.8% of the notes in circulation as of March 31st, 2023. It has also been observed that this denomination is not commonly used for transactions. Further, the stock of banknotes in other denomination continues to be adequate to meet the currency requirement of the public. अब समझ में आया लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, हाल फिलहाल एटीएम से पैसा निकालते वो 2000 के नोट नहीं आ रहे. People are saying, अरे my bank does not, my ATM does not give, only 500 rupees and 100 rupees are coming. Some of the banks would say, अरे यार मुझे मिल गया. When you go, did that happen to you? Because they slowly started withdrawing and also circulation had reduced. That's what they're saying. But point number 4, so they're saying in view of the above and in persuasion of the clean note policy of the Reserve Bank of India, it's been decided to withdraw 2,000 denomination banknotes from circulation. But point number 4 says the banknotes in 2,000 denomination will continue to be legal tender. So they don't cease to be legal tender. They continue to be legal tender. But here comes the time stipulation thereafter. Members of the public may deposit 2,000 banknotes into their bank accounts and or exchange them into banknotes of other denomination at any bank branch. Deposit into bank accounts can be made in the usual manner, that is without restrictions and subject to extant instructions and applicable statutory provisions. In order to ensure operational convenience and to avoid disruption of regular activities of bank branches, exchange of 2,000 banknotes into banknotes of other denomination can be made up to a limit of 20,000 rupees at any time at any bank starting the 23rd of May 2023. Notice आज आया है, but only from Tuesday 23rd of May 2023 can you go ahead and deposit 2,000 rupee notes and exchange that. But that is also going to happen only with 20,000 rupees at a time. That's what. So 10 notes at a time is what they will allow you to exchange in banks. But to complete the exercise in a time-bound manner and to provide adequate time to members of public, all banks shall provide deposit or exchange facility 2,000 banknotes until September 30th, 2023. Separate guidelines have been issued to the banks. The facility for exchange up to the limit of 20,000 at a time shall also be provided at 19 regional offices of the RBI. Also, Reserve Bank of India has advised banks to stop issuing 2,000 denomination banknotes with immediate effect. So now no ATMs going forward, Monday, Tuesday onwards, nobody will dispense 2,000 notes. But they continue to be legal tender. Will shopkeepers accept it? Or are we going to see another queue outside banks of people? How many 2,000 rupee notes do you have in your house? And do you have enough and more time now from now till the 30th of September to exchange these notes? But one more aspect, what happens after the 30th of September is unclear here, ladies and gentlemen, because it says it will continue to be legal tender and it's left open-ended. The RBI has left that aspect open-ended. It says it will continue to be legal tender, but 30th September तक exchange कर लो या deposit कर लो. What does that mean? 30 September के बाद क्या होगा? We don't know. It is unclear here. It's vague here. Will there be an extension? Those who still have these notes, will it continue to be legal tender? Can I continue to give and take 2,000 rupees after the 30th of September? On the broad copy, it says no, but in that fine print one line, they have said it continues to be legal tender. So this continues to be legal tender till 30th September 2023 is not mentioned here. What it is saying is you have time to exchange or deposit this money into the banks or at an RBI regional office branch by the 30th of September. Let's go straight across. Obviously, there is huge amount of politics. Congress is saying, ये देखो फिर लाइन पे खड़ा कर दिया, फिर से ये नोटबंदी का चक्कर शुरू कर दिया. What is going on? Shehzad Poonawalla, national spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. George Kurian, political analyst, is with us. George Kurian, Namaste, Jai Hind, gentlemen. Thankfully, you're all smiling. I thought there is frown. Everybody worried, मेरा 2000 का नोट कितने हैं? सब गिनने तो नहीं बैठ गए. That's what happened in 2014. सब 500,000 के नोट गिन रहे थे. अभी आप गिन रहे हैं नोट कि नहीं गिन रहे हैं? George Kurian.
Well, Anand, this doesn't really come as a surprise, at least to me, because the 2,000 rupee denomination wasn't in circulation for quite a long time. Most of the common people of India, they haven't seen that 2,000 rupee denomination note. And as rightly you mentioned, even the ATMs were not dispensing 2,000 rupee note.
Right.
What I sense behind the entire the decision from government of India at this point in time is to do with elections that is coming. Maybe this year.
How is that? No, please tell me. Please hold this thought in your head. I'll come back to you in just a bit, sir. I have the former Chief Economic Advisor, KV Subramanian ji, also joining us at this time. KV Subramanian ji, namaste. Now, see, they are saying this is because of elections. There is politics here. What's the logic behind withdrawal of this 2,000 rupee note? Somewhere, some people, everybody said, hata do. Even Sushil Kumar Modi has made this appeal in Parliament. There are economic experts who have said that what is this 2,000 rupee note doing in circulation? It gives rise to hoarding of money or black money. It makes it easier. This was some of the common man arguments. Let me understand from you. Do you agree with this decision or not?
I completely agree with the decision. There are a couple of important points that I want to make in support. First, if you look at the data, there was about 6.7 lakh crore of 2,000 rupee notes together in circulation as of March 2018. That has decreased to about 3.6 lakh crore now. What does that mean? 3.1 lakh crore of 2,000 rupee notes have gone out of circulation, which means they're actually not changing hands as much. They're sitting, in some stashes somewhere. That's point number one. The second point, and this is something that all of us in India have experienced it. When was the last time that, you remember paying something using the 2,000 rupee note? I can speak for myself. I don't remember, carrying much currency, leave alone a 2,000 rupee note when I was, in India till recently. Even for instance, to drink a cup of coffee outside, outside the Indian School of Business, I would pay 7 rupees. I would pay it using Paytm or Google Pay, and most of the transactions are being done digitally. So when you look at, money as a means of, for doing transactions, now digital money is what is being used significantly. So the arguments that are made that this will basically inconvenience people, etc., is really barking at the wrong tree, because digital transactions have actually significantly increased. India is now the leader in digital transactions. If you put the entire transactions of the US, Germany, and UK together, India does more digital transactions than all of them put together.
Correct.
And the projection is for these digital transactions to more than double from the current level by 2026. So all that tells you is that digital money is something that is being used by common people. I come back to this 3.1 lakh crore that is actually not in circulation. This is not with common people, and therefore, the decision is a sound one.
Well, so you are also inclined to say that there are entities or people who believe that with the 2,000 rupee note, there was more space to hold more money. So there is certain amount of money which is not in circulation, which is being hoarded.
Well, let me put it this way. If whatever amount of money, let's say you have to carry in your pocket, if I have to carry, a 2,000 amount, a group of, amount of 2,000, I can carry it with one note using the 2,000 rupee note. But if I have to carry it with, 100 rupee or 500 rupee notes, 500, it's 4 times. Now, if this is with just a wallet, do the same transaction with other stashes of money. When it has to be 4 times as much or 20 times as much if it is with a 100 rupee note, I think that creates significant inconvenience. And this 3.1 lakh crore of money that has been stashed at different places, I think the inconvenience that it will cause, and therefore for that to come out, actually I think the incentives are very clear.
But you're also making it difficult to liquidate this money, na? By saying only 20,000 rupees. Only when I say liquidate, to exchange this money. People who would want to exchange this money, whoever has got this 3.1 lakh crore rupees, you are saying only 20,000 rupees at a time. Yeah. When I say you, the RBI.
But the window is long enough, especially for common people, those that I suppose, I had, let's say, and I don't, but if I had 10,000 rupees sitting in some, pocket of mine, let's say 2,000 rupee notes, I have even though I'm now currently based in the US, when I visit India the next time, actually, I can go to a bank and, and exchange it. The window is long enough for common people to not get inconvenienced at all. I think, the inconvenience, if any, will be among the people who are basically holding this 3.1 lakh crore collectively.
Why is it being linked to the elections, upcoming elections, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Lok Sabha 2024?
Look, I think across democracies, even in the United States, there are these clientele effects. Even if let's say actual money does not change hands, there are clienteles that are supported. There's a lot of lobbying that goes on. These are the realities of a democracy, and I think the realities of the Indian democracy that will get impacted by this, in my opinion, will be a positive one.
So are you in support of any higher denomination note above the 500 rupee note? Or do you believe, given, like you cited, the digital transactions and the volume of digital engagements that's happening, UPI is a platform with a cross-section of other payment gateways, do you believe that there is no need for a higher denomination than 500 rupee note?
No, in fact, I completely agree. Even when, the demonetization happened in 2016, you would recall I was, within a day of demonetization, I'd written a piece in Times of India supporting it at that time. And even at that time, I actually believed that, the 2,000 rupee note was, was high in denomination. I think, 500 and, if required, 1,000. And I think it's just 500 now, given the amount of, digital money that is being used. Remember, in 2016, digital money was not as prevalent, but today digital transactions have increased significantly, and there's a tremendous amount of convenience. I'll just give you a specific anecdote just to illustrate how common people are benefiting.
Right.
Outside of the Indian School of Business, there is this person who actually sells chai, and he charges 7 rupees. Earlier, when it was cash, he basically would take a minute to make a cup of tea and another minute to actually deliver change if a person gave a 10 rupee or a 20 or a 50 rupee note. Now that person says, I don't have to actually waste my time giving change because people pay me using digital money. His productivity has increased. He also shares that the person who actually comes and delivers milk to him, that person had to make another round he would deliver milk in the morning and come back in the evening to get cash. Now that person basically, the chaiwala actually pays him, digitally. And so his time has also been saved. So common people, and I think all of us have enough anecdotes to talk about, are using digital money. So there is going to be no inconvenience, on the use of or taking out of 2,000 rupee notes. One more aspect that I will mention,
Right.
Oftentimes me and my wife have, for instance, observed, when we would go to the malls to, let's say, shop in Hyderabad, we wouldn't see as much cash payments being made. But at the same time, when we would actually go to malls in Bombay or in Delhi, we would see far more cash payments being made. There is something in there as well, and I think the 2,000 rupee note being taken out will also help, in that regard for sure.
So there are people who are hoarding cash. But the core idea is, can I do notebandi every time I believe that there is a sizable volume of money which is moving out of circulation because it's being hoarded? Now, if there was, as per this note, if it says that the total amount of money that the banknotes in circulation was 6.73 lakh crore and it's come down to 3.62 lakh crore, and you are saying that around 3.1 lakh crore moved out of circulation, that means somewhere somebody is hoarding this. Is the principle of hoarding cash to try and hold unaccounted wealth, has that been addressed? Just by getting into demonetization, you're going to inconvenience a lot of people who have hoarded this money, and they will have to now figure out and regularize this unaccounted wealth. But the whole idea of unaccounted wealth, where does that stem from? Does it stem from evading taxes, the burden of taxes?
Yeah, let me be third time lucky and finish my point here.
Go ahead.
Yes, if you look at, I think there are a couple of important points to keep in mind. First, this is a move by the Reserve Bank of India. This is not a move by and as the monetary authority, the Reserve Bank of India has it in its jurisdiction to decide what denominations it wants in circulation and what it wants out of circulation, depending on the demand for those denominations. And the simple fact, as I mentioned, given the significant advances in digital economy, I think it's a very clear indication that the demand for the 2,000 rupee note as a means of transaction has gone down. The use of the 2,000 rupee note for hoarding money. And when would you hoard it in cash? You would hoard it in cash only if you have actually not paid taxes on it, or if this is wealth that basically has come from means that you cannot go and disclose legally. And I think, any economist or even, any professional worth his or her salt will definitely tell you that basically coming down on folks that earn money or income that is not accounted for is something that is actually absolutely right. I as an honest taxpayer myself actually always think that yes, for the arm of the state should come down very hard, very strongly on those that do not pay taxes or have an accounted wealth, because people like me, and there are many other employees, people who are employed, who actually pay their taxes honestly, earn income very well. And I think this kind of move actually really supports those that earn their money in an honest manner, and I think I'm all for it. I said this even when the original demonetization happened, and I support it again as well. To me, it is a no-brainer that hoarding of cash, which has to be unaccounted, wealth, or basically wealth on which or income on which taxes have not been paid for. I have no sympathy for such money.
Right. So I'm just going to underline this again for our viewers, that 2,000 rupee note continues to be legal tender. There is no time-bound aspect of it being legal tender or not being legal tender. The time stipulation is 30th September 2023 to exchange or deposit these 2,000 rupee notes if they are in your possession. This is to encourage exchange and deposit. It continues to be legal tender. They have not specified the time of till when it continues to be legal tender, and that's there. Point number 4 of this note, and also the headline very clearly says, ladies and gentlemen, the point number 4. KV Subramanian, just underlining this because there should not be confusion on that the banknotes in 2000 denomination will continue to be legal tender is point number 4. And right at the top it says will continue as legal tender. Withdrawal from circulation, but will continue as legal tender. Could you explain this? Is this trying to keep it open-ended as legal tender but still put a deadline of 30th September, exchange till this date, or else? KV Subramanian, how would you explain this to the common person?
So, this is my reading at this point. I think, a little bit more of a clarification on this from the Reserve Bank, I think will help. But from my reading, what it suggests is that till the 30th of September of 2023, which means that is almost, 1.5 years from now, or at least 16 months from now, till that point in time, the 2000 rupee note will absolutely continue as legal tender. My assessment from what I've read is that after the 30th of September 2023, it will not continue to be legal tender. But I think this is one aspect where the Reserve Bank, specific clarification might help, but that is my reading. What does that mean? That, people don't have to actually rush. There is ample time, 14 months to be able to go and exchange. So if I, as I was saying earlier as well, if I had 10,000 rupees, let's say, in some wallet in Hyderabad, I'm not there, but if I had as well in one of my visits to, to India, I can actually go to the bank and give that, 10,000 rupees in 2,000 rupee notes and get it in 500 or get it in hundreds. And I think, if those of us who are staying actually abroad now can do that, I'm sure people who are resident there can do it at their convenience. Actually, there's no need for rush. Yeah. More importantly, if you compare with the period of demonetization, where because digital money was not as much in use, there was a need for people to get cash. But now, given the significant use of digital money, for transactions, there is absolutely no need for rush. People can do it at their convenience. So that's my reading. I don't think common people are going to be inconvenienced. Bottom line, as I said before, that hoard of cash, those who are hoarding collectively the 3.1 lakh crore, they are the ones that will get inconvenienced, and rightly so.
Right. It's just that it's not 14 months, it's 4 months. I'm just going to step in there because it's 30th of September 2023. So 4 months. 4 months is the time that they have. Mr. Chidambaram, Mr. P. Chidambaram has tweeted. So just quickly want your opinion on that, and then I will let you go. I know you're also pressed for time. As expected, the government or the RBI have withdrawn the 2,000 rupee note, given time till September 30th to exchange the notes. The 2,000 note is hardly a popular medium of exchange. We said this in November 2016 and we've been proved correct. The 2,000 note was a band-aid to cover up the foolish decision of demonetizing 500 and 1,000 notes, which are popular and widely exchanged currencies. A few weeks after demonetization, RBI were forced to reintroduce the 500 note. I shall not be surprised if the RBI reintroduced the 1,000 note as well. Demonetization has come a full circle.
Look, I have actually put many threads on Twitter, really questioning the credibility of, Mr. Chidambaram. I in one of my tweets also, I actually said, just repeating, a lie many times does not make it fly. So I'll say that again. If you would recall, in an interview with Rajdeep Sardesai as well, the 4-time finance minister had absolutely no qualms in putting all the blame on his own cabinet colleague, and that to a deceased person, the former president, Pranab Mukherjee. I think less being said about anything that he says, the better.
But you have a double thumbs up for this move, and you believe it's the betterment of the common people and, of course, the headache of those who are perhaps holding unaccounted wealth.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, KV Subramanian. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Namaste. Let's go back to George Kurian and Shehzad Poonawalla. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. This is fast-paced development. So we had the former CEA with us. So we thought we'd just get his thoughts on it. Shehzad Poonawalla, who are these people who have 3.1 lakh crore of the notes?
Jairam Ramesh seems to be one of them, and Chidambaram seems to be the second one. Because only those people because only those people who seem to have unaccounted notes seem to be perturbed. And let me tell you, first of all, let's get the vocabulary right. This is not a demonetization or a note bandi. It could be at best called a note wapsi or a note badli. And I believe that it happened in 1970s. It's happened in 1940s. So this is a regular phenomenon. Also, let me tell the members of the public who are watching this that this is not the extinction of 2000 rupee notes. The 2000 rupee notes continue to be valid legal tender. They continue to be valid legal tender even beyond September 2023, the date on which you should be encouraged to exchange or deposit in entirety this said 2000 rupee notes, which means that this is not going to stop existing as legal tender. It only means that there is a gradual withdrawal of these 2000 rupee notes, and I'll tell you the reason why. The 2000 rupee notes came into circulation first when they were printed post the demonetization, and they were stopped printing in 2018. Now it's been 4 to 5 years since these notes have been in the circulation. The circulation has been declining, as has been explained by the former CEA, and this means that these notes are now well past their live-by date, which is 4 to 5 years, and therefore for clean note policy, which means that the members of the public should have clean banking notes, good quality notes. The notes are being taken back. It's being withdrawn gradually. So I will encourage members of the public to not consider the jali tweets of Jairam Ramesh, who I think adopts a policy of tweet first, think later. TFTL. Tweet first, pehle tweet karo, phir socho. Don't go by that. Go by what the RBI and councils of the likes of Mr. Subramaniam are telling you. You can exchange or deposit these notes. You can do it as many times you want. You can do it to the extent of the amount you want. There's no restriction. And therefore, I would encourage members of the public to participate in this, as they have done in the policy of withdrawal of notes in many, many decades that we've seen in this country before.
Right. Shehzad Poonawalla and George Kurian. What we have done is, because this is such a big development, we have said that the whole edition of this Right Stand, this Friday edition, is going to be dedicated to this very story. I'm going to request your time beyond what is stipulated or what was earlier conveyed to you to stay on with us till the end of the show. The other thing which we are doing, George Kurian and Shehzad Poonawalla, is we're going to throw open the phone line to our viewers. We're going to expose the viewer, you to the actual viewer of the Right Stand, and ask them to share their opinion or ask questions to either the Congress or the BJP, the government or the BJP or the opposition, and let's see how it unfolds. The number to our viewers is flashing at the bottom of your screen, 0120-434-1895. Now, George Kurian, you heard KV Subramanian, you heard Shehzad Poonawalla. Before you could finish, I had to interrupt you. So I will make good, and please go ahead and share your thoughts.
Well, Anand, thank you very much. A very good evening to Shehzad. As I said earlier, this is nothing but an attempt from the ruling dispensation at this point in time, because the purpose of their demonetization has been solved, it seems, it looks like. And now, as we see that the assembly elections are due in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and other few northeastern states, and also the municipal corporation election, where a lot of liquidated cash transactions, takes shape. So I strongly believe this attempt to withdraw the circulation of 2000 rupee note has been put in place, keeping the elections in mind.
Shehzad, respond, please.
First of all, let me explain that this is not a government decision. It's a decision taken by the RBI, and it's an independent and autonomous body, the RBI. And therefore, the government has no say in this in that sense of the term. The RBI handles this policy, and therefore the RBI is at liberty if it feels that it wants to push forward a clean note policy and wants to withdraw gradually out of circulation. Now, the municipal elections that he is referring to, I don't think the municipal elections have even been declared in Mumbai if he is referring to those. So what kind of elections are these? And there are elections every 2 months in this country. So then we should have one election 5 years, and the rest of the time we can get on with policy work. So, Mr. Kurian is a very balanced spokesperson most of the times. For him to link this move by the RBI, an independent body, to elections which have not been declared only seems to show that he is following Jairam Ramesh's practice of tweet first and think later. He's doing speak first and think later. George, I would definitely encourage you to go and exchange your 2,000 rupee notes, and I would also encourage you to speak after thinking rather than follow Jairam Ramesh's template.
Well, gentlemen, before you get into one more round of Aji-Baji, two callers are already there. Mr. Nair from Chennai and Pradeep from Kolkata is with us. Namaste, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Mr. Nair, you first, please.
Yes, sir, I'm just watching your program. Okay, that's a good move, in fact, according to me, because the thing is, BJP brought in this demonetization to make sure, means we have a control on the corruption. Okay, and specifically, if we see in the Congress, the election is too far away. We have nothing to do with elections with demonetizations.
So
okay.
And
as a common man, if I don't have a currency of 2,000 rupees, more than 10,000, means I don't hold 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees in my home. I don't.
So then there is no tension if you're not holding cash, which is unaccounted, or it's in huge numbers, and that's so in 2,000 denominations. There is no tension. That's what you're saying, Mr. Nair. Thank you, sir. Sir, I have a lot of callers, so I'll keep the conversation short. But thank you very much for calling. Pradeep from Kolkata is there with us. Swarup from Kottayam is there with us. Keshav from Mumbai. Lots of callers. Let's hear them out. Yes, Pradeep.
I'm Pradeep calling from Kolkata. My simple question to Mr. Sajad is, say I am holding rupees 2 lakhs and there is no limit to the amount of deposit one can make. But why there is a ceiling for 20,000 rupees? I have to go 10 times to the bank. If I have a proper PAN number, why cannot I deposit it at a time at one go?
Fair question.
Only creating chaos and queues and queues.
कितना बारी बैंक लेके जाएंगे? ऐसा थोड़ी करते हैं. क्या कर रहे हैं आप?
पहला बात.
Let me address that.
That's the first point. Okay, second point, Pradeep ji.
सेकेंड बात सर, मैंने जो देखी थी पिछली बार, जो मैं रूरल एरिया से भी आता हूँ, नॉर्थ बंगाल के रूरल एरिया में भी रहता हूँ. मेरा सिंपल मैंने देखा था कि जो लेबर इंटेंसिव इंडस्ट्री है, खासकर जो अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर है, उसमें जिसमें 500 लेबर, 1000 लेबर, 2000 लेबर काम करते हैं, तो जिन लोगों ने कैश होल्ड करके रखा है, वो उसको केवल उनको रेलिंक्विश कर देते हैं. कैश अपना जो वीकली पेमेंट होता है, मंथली पेमेंट होता है, उसमें उन लोगों लेबर को छोड़ देते हैं. वो पेमेंट 2,000 रुपए का नोट उनके थ्रू जो है बैंकिंग सिस्टम में आ जाता है.
करेक्ट.
अगर तो इस तरह से अगर आप जो लास्ट टाइम की इनकम टैक्स में 2 लाख की लिमिट की कोई तहकीकात नहीं होगी, अगर हर आदमी 2 लाख रुपए 2,000 रुपए का नोट जमा कर देता है,
तो गॉट इट. प्रदीप जी, आपका पॉइंट समझ में आया. बहुत सारे कॉलर्स हैं, इसीलिए आपको इंटरप्ट कर रहा हूं. शहजाद, प्लीज क्विकली रिस्पॉन्ड. स्वरूप, केशव, वेंकट, कार्तिक, प्लीज स्टे विद अस. यस शहजाद, रिस्पॉन्ड.
प्रदीप जी, मैं आपको बता दूं, जहां तक मैंने पढ़ा है और आनंद जी ने भी शायद पढ़ा होगा, डिपॉजिट के ऊपर कोई लिमिट नहीं है. तो आपका जितना भी पैसा कैश में है, जहां तक मेरी समझदारी है, जहां तक मैं समझ सकता हूं, आप पूरा डिपॉजिट एक गो में कर सकते हो. अगर आपको एक्सचेंज करना है तो एट वन टाइम 20,000 का लिमिट है.
करेक्ट.
तो मतलब, और वो भी एक सीमा नहीं है कि कितनी बार कर सकते हो. मतलब कि सितंबर तक आप 500 बार भी जा सकते हो, आप 5 बार भी जा सकते हो.
Correct. That is for exchange. Pradeep ji, I just want to read this out very clearly to our viewers. The exchange of 2,000 banknotes into banknotes of other denominations, 500 rupees, 100 rupees, 50, 20, 10, whatever you want, is up to a limit of 20,000 rupees at a time. To deposit 2,000 rupee notes, there is no limit. You can go to any bank with your PAN number. If you have 2,000 rupee notes, if you have 2, 3, 4 gaddis and you have account, you want to show your PAN number, you can deposit that money. That's very clear. जी.
आनंद, मैं आपको रीजन बताता हूं. डिपॉजिटिंग में तो कोई समस्या नहीं है, बट जब एक्सचेंज करना है तो उस ब्रांच में कितनी अवेलेबिलिटी है, एंड देयर हैज टू बी मेंबर्स ऑफ द पब्लिक हु आर catered to at large.
Correct. Everybody has to be given some amount of cash, and it has to be proportionately distributed. That's the thought process. Okay, Pradeep ji, I hope that answers not just your question, a question or doubt for a lot of people. Swarup from Kottayam with us. Yes, Swarup.
Yeah, hello sir.
Thank you for your patience. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So actually, I don't have an in-depth knowledge in this topic, but listening to Mr. Poonawalla, so the reason that they give that they are banning the 2,000 rupee note, it is not really satisfactory. That it has been in circulation for 4 years, and that is why, and no fresh notes are printed. So I don't think that is the actual reason. Even we have 10, 50, 100 rupees notes that are 10, 20 years old, which we are still using. And even though it is a legal tender, people will, they won't accept it because they still have to exchange it with the bank. So I feel the real reason could be to promote digital payment, and government has also reduced, certain rates for the digital payments using debit and credit cards. So the reason is not satisfactory for the banning of.
You believe the reason is to push for digital transactions rather than just to say that they want to withdraw money because these notes are no longer in circulation. They've stopped printing these notes in 2018, 2019.
Yes, could be. Yes.
Thanks, Swaroop. Thank you for calling. Let's Shehzad respond to that. Then we'll go across to Keshav and Venkat who are with us, and Karthik is also with us. Oh, Priyanka is joining us from Mumbai. So thoda jaldi nikalna padega. Yes, Shehzad. Yeah.
स्वरूप बैन नहीं लग रहा है 2000 की नोट पे. आपने कहा बैन लग रहा है, बैन नहीं लग रहा है. ये लीगल टेंडर वैलिड रहेगा. इसमें सिर्फ ये है जो 50-100 की आप बात कर रहे हो, 50-100 की नोट रेगुलरली रीप्रिंट होती है. जो आपके हाथ में आती है वो शायद 4-5 साल पुरानी नोट नहीं है, वो शायद नई नोट है, वो गंदी हो जाती है यूज की वजह से. दैट्स अनदर रीजन. 2000 की नोट 2018 से प्रिंट नहीं हुई है, उसका प्रिंटिंग बंद कर दिया गया है. So all of the 2000 rupee notes, which are about 3 lakh crore, is all from 2017 onwards. Now these notes have become bad quality notes. It is a regular feature of the RBI to do this, and this is not to promote digital payments. By the way, digital payment has already seen a skyrocketing to the extent that we are doing 7,000 crore transactions in 1 year of UPI. So that and this has no nexus. इसमें कोई connection नहीं है. जो कारण है वो सिर्फ इतना है कि ये पुरानी क्वालिटी की नोट्स है, ये सर्कुलेशन में इसीलिए कम हो रही है क्योंकि प्रिंट भी नहीं हो रही है, और इसको लीगल वैलिड टेंडर रखा जाएगा उस डेट के बाद भी. आप इसको यूज कर सकते हैं, पर आपको encourage किया जा रहा है सितंबर से पहले.
His point is that even if I have a 2,000 rupee note, others will not take it. So it's discouraging transaction. But
no, let me clarify that. Under the law of this country, nobody can reject legal valid tender. So let me tell members of the public,
but see,
the law of this country.
गांव खेड़े में और छोटे दुकानों में legal tender वाला law नहीं apply होता है. नहीं, that's okay. It stands nice for an argument, but reality is also there. वो बोलेगा 2000 नोट हम नहीं ले सकते, आप 500 का नोट दे दो. But चले तो UPI ही कर दो. That's what they will say. They will say UPI, but they will say do another form of transaction. They will try and discourage. That will happen. That's the reality. Keshav from Mumbai with us. Venkat from Bengaluru. Thank you, Karthik. Priyanka and Sundar. Krishna, thank you. Coming to all of you. Yes, Keshav, go ahead, please. You'll have to mute your television set, please. Please mute your television set right away. There is a delay. और late हो जाएंगे. Please. Keshav. Keshav, please. All right. I'm going to skip you, Keshav, because to all our viewers, there is a 10 to 12 second delay between our on air and what you're going to watch on your TV. So please mute your television sets. Thank you. Yes, Venkat, go ahead, please. Venkat, are you there? Venkat from Bengaluru?
Yeah, I'm there.
Go ahead, Venkat.
Okay, so basically this demonetization has to be done by the RBI. First thing, it was a wrong move by the Prime Minister when he did in 2016. Now the printing is also a waste of money, right? How much money has gone into the printing? So now government is banning this. So how much of exchequer money is wasted? How much of taxpayers' money is wasted? So anyway, government knows that UPI will be booming. So why did they print 2,000 rupees notes first in place?
Okay. Why print in the first place if you are going to eventually withdraw? Why waste so much of money? Shehzad Poonawalla.
Firstly, demonetization has been held as constitutionally and legally valid by the bench of the Supreme Court just recently. So I don't think that we should be saying that this has been done in a wrong way or unconstitutionally, etc. Secondly, there were 5,000 rupee and 10,000 rupee notes also once upon a time in this country. They were printed, then they were taken out of circulation, they were brought back into circulation, and they were gradually withdrawn from circulation. This is an ongoing process. At different points of time, an economy and a country require different sizes prices of currency, and as we are moving towards digital currency, the need for currency in terms of notes may reduce completely. So you can't see this as a cost on the exchequer, etc., because the economy works on printing of currency and the use of digital economy and money. So I think now if you're going to get into why we printed this 5 years ago, why didn't we print this 10 years ago, I think that argument doesn't hold.
Right, but it also is true that to print this note is very expensive, because not just about the paper but also the variety of different kinds of inks and the highly technical design that it's been done and the die itself, and to print it, it's not cheap. It's not cheap to print this note. But
every note serves a 5-year tenure.
Correct.
They have done the 5-year tenure.
Correct. That argument is also valid. There is also a point here too. So they're going to reduce the cost per se. But Karthik from Coimbatore. Yes, Karthik.
Hello, Anand.
Yes.
See, the
Namaskaram.
basic thing it is not that I spoke to few of my friends to see how much 2,000 rupees they have. Most of my friends hardly have one or no notes. This is nothing to worry for the general public. This is for politicians who loads of money stacked in their over the tree or under the well. It is for people like that who has to worry. General public has nothing to worry.
Correct.
And all these opposition guys and political analysts will spin a story saying that this is demonetization. This is not demonetization, this is remonetization. And all these politicians and political analysts has to be re-educated. Public knows it. Is the analyst and the opposition have to be, educated on this.
Right. I was actually, while you were speaking to us, Karthik, I was thinking, when is the last time I saw a 2,000 rupee note? I saw it 3 months back. I hardly have any cash with me because most of my transactions are digital, and I have only my ATM is dispensing only 500 rupee notes now. That's also there. The ATM close to my house. Yeah, and Ravi from Bengaluru. Ravi from Bengaluru. Just on a lighter note. Yes, Ravi, go ahead, please. Ravi, are you there? I think we lost him.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello?
Yeah, there you are. Go ahead, please. Thank you. To all our callers, please be a little patient. We'll come to you one by one. Promise. Priyanka is there with us. Sundar is there with us. And Sandeep from Bengaluru is also with us. But first, Ravi. Yes, Ravi. Go ahead, please.
Good evening to you and your panelist, Anand.
Namaskara.
Very nice
Good evening.
talking to you. And let me tell you, like the other panelists said, 80 to 85% of Indian people need not worry about it, because urban people do digital transaction, and most of the agriculturists will not have crores and crores of rupees. It is only about this 2-3% of politicians and other business people who are evading tax, who are really crying for this, one thing. And second thing, Anand, we do not have only the black money as the one point of view when we do certain actions like these, right? I mean, imagine there is a terror funding which is happening. All those will stop for temporarily, because and counterfeit notes, they stop. I mean, all these are the added advantages what we have by doing these exercises very regularly, right?
Right.
I mean, it takes a lot of time for them to abolish. I mean, whatever they have counterfeit notes they have already printed
Recalibrate.
will go waste.
It will take them time to recalibrate, is what you're saying, Raviji. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I'm cutting you out there because we have paucity of time. Lots of callers, and we also have R. Gandhi ji joining us, former Deputy Governor of the RBI. Namaste and thank you very much. You're also with us. We're opening it out, sir. We're opening it out to callers, so I'd request you to also listen to them, and then I'll come to you. Shehzad is also with us, and we also have George Kurian with us, but Priyanka from Mumbai with us. Priyanka, yes. So we now have a former Deputy Governor of the RBI also with us. So Priyanka, namaste. Thank you for your patience. Go ahead, please.
Good evening to the entire panel. Firstly, thank you so much for having this discussion. I think it clarifies a lot of things, and a lot of uncertainty kind of gets capped by it. A quick question. A lot has been clarified about deposits and exchange till 30th September. What happens from 1st October? If I have a store, am I able to deposit 2,000 rupee notes just the way I'm able to deposit 500 rupee notes against my sales? Because if that clarification is not there, there will be a reluctance to accept 2,000 rupee notes, no matter how legal the tender might be.
Fair point you make, Priyanka. As per this note, it will continue as legal tender. There is no limit to deposits. What they're saying is exchange and deposits is encouraged by the 30th of September. Thereafter, it continues to be legal tender is what this note as of now says. Let me ask R. Gandhiji to clarify this for you. Sir, can you please help one of our callers who have a very genuine worry? What happens after 30th September?
Yeah, it is too early to worry about that because there are 4 months time now available, and near about that date, Reserve Bank will definitely take a call whether it needs to be extending or it needs to make alternative arrangements. All those things will come at that time. Those questions will at that time. We should not be worrying about that right now. Right now, what is available, let public make good use of that period and return the cash to the banking system and get back value. But what can happen after 30th September? Why we should do that exercise now? Let us cross the bridge when we reach there.
What does this mean? If I may ask you, Sundar Krishna and Sandeep, coming to you after this, I just questioned with Mr. Gandhi. At the top of the note, it says will continue as legal tender. And point number 4 also very clearly mentions that the banknotes in 2000 denomination will continue to be legal tender. What does this imply?
See, that's what, because that's why I said that at that time, Reserve Bank will take a view whether the withdrawal arrangements will have to continue at every branch of every bank in the country, or it needed to be modified certain specific locations only, or we have to extend the period of time as now. All those questions will be discussed and a call will be taken by the Reserve Bank near about that date. Now itself, you should think about that. Looks a little odd because somewhere we have to start with a deadline. That way, 30th September has been fixed as reasonable as the Reserve Bank has thought about it. Right. If it is becoming practically too difficult for public to complete that all this exchange by that time, Reserve Bank will take appropriate call.
Yeah. Shehzad wants to come in. Yes, Shehzad. And then I'll go to Sundar Krishna.
Specifically to Priyanka ji's concern, she alluded to the fact that she has a store. Now, Priyanka ji, when you have a store, obviously that money is either some sales that you've made, or it's money part of your capital or part of your money that you want to use for something or the other. All of this money is, in a sense, business money that you can definitely show in your bank of accounts, saying that this is a money that is either part of your income or is part of your business workings. Why would you not want to then deposit the same amount which is accounted for into a bank account, and you have 4 months for it? So, Priyanka ji, I mean, I don't see any legitimate concern for you to go and deposit the money which is anyways accounted for, unless this. So I can imagine if it was unaccounted money.
I think one of the reading between the lines was, if somebody comes to her with a 2,000 rupee note after the 30th of September, what does she do? So for that, Mr. R. Gandhi is saying that you don't need to think about what's going to happen 4 months from now. There will be a further clarification that will surely be issued. Till the 30th of September, 2,000 rupees continues to be legal tender. You can continue to accept 2,000 rupees for whoever is coming to give you, Priyanka ji. And you can go and deposit it in the bank, because there is no limit to how much money you can deposit in the bank. The limit is only about how much you can withdraw. 20,000 rupees you can exchange, not even withdraw, exchange. 20,000 rupees of exchange of 2,000 rupee note. That's the limit. So 20,000 rupees tak, 20,000 you have notes, you give those 2,000 rupee notes, you can get 500 and 100 rupee notes. But if you want to deposit into your bank, there is no limit as long as you have your PAN card and it's accounted for well. So that's where it stays. I have Manojit Mandal with me. Yes, Manojit Mandal is also there. I couldn't make out for a bit. Thank you, Manojit. Thank you very much. Just 2 more callers and then I'll come across to you. Sundar Krishna from Chennai and Sandeep from Bengaluru. Thank you so much for your patience. Yes, Sundar, what's your question or point of view?
This is Dr. Sundar Krishna, a nuclear scientist and a global consultant. The point is, this is a next level of a cleansing process of the currency which has been circulating in huge masses in this country, even today. This cleaning process would definitely aid. It's a good move by the RBI. And the pity is this country is a rich country with a huge base of agriculture, huge industrial base, huge money base. Still, larger sections of the society are suffering without even 100 rupees. Here, I can demonstrate and prove it to you, show it to you. Millions of people are even without 100 rupees every day. That is a reality. So, cash-free economy is the only remedy and solution eventually. This is a step towards that. Eventually, gradually, very systematically, that has to be, maneuvered and regulated, brought forward in a very systematic fashion to eliminate the cash completely in this country. Only then this country can go to bigger heights. Otherwise, nothing is going to grow in this country. This is my personal opinion of after going, I'm 62 years of age. I've gone through enough in the soil. I'm a global consultant. I'm also fairly aware of the global economy, the regional economies, and how it impacts our economy, and what is the currency, what is all going on around.
Right.
Even today, every market is running with cash. I can see tens of lakhs of rupees being handled in cash in every market, in every system you go. We can show every location, hundreds of people doing this. There is a control, there is a governance, there is a regulatory. And this is definitely a good step by RBI, at least to the next level of cleaning.
So, because that's what it said. In fact, in their note also, Sundar Krishnaji, thank you so much for your comment and for your time and for your patience, sir. It actually says clean up effort. So it says clean note policy. That's what it says. In pursuance of the clean note policy of the Reserve Bank of India, it's been decided to withdraw the 2,000 rupee denomination banknotes from circulation. Yes, Sandeep. Thank you for your patience. Go ahead, please. You've been holding the line for at least 15 minutes now. Thank you so much. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Namaskara to all panelists.
Namaskara.
I strongly agree with the RBI move to put a restriction of the 2,000 note till September, and after that there will be no circulation. And what happened is, the number one is, for the 2,000 rupee note, there is a problem of giving a change from the all shopkeepers from the daily prospects. So if you do 100 or 200 transactions, they have to give 1,800 rupee exchange, which was a big problem. The second one, in India, we are witnessing a high UPI transaction from morning when we get a coffee, from the milk, and from the night to alcohol, everything is UPI now. And even though for all the plumbers or mechanics, we are paying through UPI. Right. So I think there's no need of holding 2,000 rupee or holding a cash. That affect our economy also. So it is a very good move, and it will help to bring in more people for the UPI transactions and have a clean, fair economy. And already India is the fourth largest economy in the world. So we will continue to grow. And that's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sandeep ji. Let me ask Mr. R. Gandhi this. Sir, many are saying this is time to elections. This is time to inconvenience certain entities who may get an upper hand. How would you see this kind of a response? Or that why did you have to ban 500 and 1,000 because eventually you're going to come back to 500 and 1,000 is what Mr. Chidambaram is saying.
That's not a question for me to answer, because that is completely beyond my domain to answer that kind of question.
But in your opinion, is this a fair move? Is this a well-timed move?
Timing, in what way it makes a big difference, in the sense that the Reserve Bank periodically withdraws the old series notes. So to read too much into it, yes, people can always make different guesses why this has been done. Maybe we have to look at it, all the positive effects which it can make, like just now two members of the public have commented that it is a good move. So it will be useful for the economy as a whole.
But do you believe that we need a denomination like 2,000 rupees in circulation? When you say that the RBI could withdraw this, are you expecting it to come back with a fresher note or a different kind of note?
No, because even at the time when it was introduced, it was clearly mentioned that it was a tactical move to quickly remonetize. We have to print 2,000 rupee denomination. Otherwise, it doesn't go with the overall theme of demonetization, the higher denomination notes. So that way, we may not necessarily need a 2,000 rupee denomination when, especially today, the digital transaction have taken really, really big. Any value can be transferred through the digital means. So higher denomination, necessity for higher denomination as a means of exchange, there no longer is needed.
Manojit Mondal, where do you stand as an academic and also a quasi-politician?
Mr. Ruben, again, the charges that we have been leveling against the government for the last 6-7 years after the withdrawal and again this mini demonetization, that what the government did in 2016 was a disaster. If that was a 440-volt shock to the people of this country, this has now become 220-volt shock to the people of this country. Still, the people, large number of people, they are going to be affected because 10% of the currencies are still in 2,000 rupees denomination. And if the government is again, the kind of logic that they are giving, that they want to, the crack on the black money holders. That means for the last 6-7 years, all your agencies have failed to check the flow of black money. Again, it proves again that your move in 2016 was wrong. To flow 2,000 rupees cash into 2016, this was wrong. And what you are doing is again wrong. We want to see how many people are going to now die because of this demonetization. Because people still, they have to, stand in a queue who are having some 2,000 rupees money.
Right.
All of them may not be 2,000 black money holders because you still could not produce the white paper as to how much money you have recovered because of 2016 demonetization.
So you've asked a lot of questions. You have asked a lot of questions. It's 8:48 on my clock. I'm compelled to take a very short break. The answer from the BJP and also an explanation from Mr. Gandhi and final word from George Karit. When we come back, we've got to take this break. We'll just take this break and we'll come back.